Let me ask you a question. Why is it that you work so hard, yet before the end of the month, your account is empty? Why is it that the moment money enters your hands, bills, debts, emergencies, and expenses come like vulture, and before you can breathe, everything is gone? Listen to me very carefully. Money doesn't just disappear. Money obeys principles. And the truth is this: if you don't control your money will control you. If you don't master your finances, life will keep you in slavery, working, sweating, hustling, yet nothing to show for it. Today, I want to break down why money disappears from your hands every single month. And more importantly, how you can break free from this cycle of lack once and for all. This message is not just theory, it's survival, it's freedom. It is the difference between struggling paycheck to paycheck and stepping into true wealth. Here is the truth. Most people are trapped into what I call the cycle of lack. And the cycle of lack works like this. You you work, you earn, you spend, you spend, you borrow, and you do this before the end of the month. So the life revolves in this cycle. You work, you earn, you spend, and you borrow. And in most cases, some people call it I owe you. So they begin to live on this cycle. You see, poverty is not just about lack of money, it's a cycle. And cycles are dangerous until you break them intentionally. Many of us listening right now are in this same exact cycle. You work, you earn, you spend, you borrow before the end of the month. In fact, before the 15th of the month, you're already on borrow. And you borrow just to survive, not to multiply. And you are paying debts that keep you chained. At this point, you can't think of even savings, let alone investing. And the scary thing is, if nothing is done about this cycle, it swallows your next 10, 20, 30, 40 years of your life. This is why people work for decades and retire broke. You will agree with me that money doesn't just vanish into thin air, it leaks. Let's talk about the hidden leaks that drain your wealth. Hidden leaks that drain your wealth. I think we have one impulse. Bad. We have impulse. Impulse spending. Here, people think that the little expenses they make has nothing to do with their finances. So they tend to say, let's buy it. However, little drop sink a mighty ship. The second leak is what I call debt slavery. Debt. Debt slavery. These are hidden leaks. Hidden leaks. So here people are borrowing to survive. Under here, they are borrowing to survive. They are borrowing to buy things to impress others, or they are borrowing to impress, and borrowing things that don't multiply their money. The third one is lack of budgeting. Lack of Lack of budgeting. I don't know whether this double T or one T. I think lack of budgeting. Budgeting is not punishment, it's freedom because you can't manage what you can't measure. Another point there is no savings or emergency fund. Number four, no savings slash emergency fund. When life throws its challenges on you, if you are not prepared, you will sell your future to survive the present. The fifth point is wrong mindset about money. Wrong mindset about money. The poor think that money is to be spent. The wealthy think that money is to be multiplied. So the poor think that money is the goal. So once I make money, I've hit my goal. I've achieved what I want to achieve. But the wealthy think that money is a tool for the fulfillment of purpose. Now listen, you can break this cycle, but it won't happen by miracles. It happens by decisions. So you have to learn how to budget ruthlessly. You want to break these cycles, then you have to, number one, learn ruthless budgeting. Ruthless budgeting. Ruthless. You have to learn how to budget ruthlessly. So every naira, every dollar, every penny, every cent that comes to you must be on budget. You have to learn how to budget it. This money goes for this goes for this goes for this, and the remaining part of the money you keep it. The second point is you have to learn how to pay yourself first. Pay yourself. Some people, when they earn their money, they pay bills first before they pay themselves. And the danger of that is bills will never end. There is no point to which you begin to pay bills and there is nothing more to pay. In fact, one of my mentors said, any problem that will not wait for me to multiply or grow my money is not a problem for me to solve. So the danger there is that when you begin to pay bills, before you pay yourself, you discover at the end of the day, you will not have enough money to pay yourself. But by the time you pay yourself, then paying bills, you apply discipline. The third point is developing multiple sources of income. Multiple sources of income. Never depend on one source of income. In fact, no billionaire has ever depended on one source of income. One of my mentors were teaching me many years ago that even in the Garden of Eden, God designed 4 rivers that will water the garden. That means any man that wants to operate like God is not expected to have less than 4 sources of income. And I took it to heart, I took it personal, and I worked on it, and it worked for me. So you want to break out, you have to develop multiple sources of income. Very, very important. In fact, rivers have tributaries. The fourth point is having delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. If you eat your seed today, you will not have a seed to plant tomorrow. And if you eat your seed today, don't expect to have harvest tomorrow. Wealth doesn't come to those who chase pleasure. Wealth comes to those who say no to temporary comfort for permanent freedom. Some people are saying, I earn so little, how can I build wealth? Let me tell you, wealth doesn't start with plenty. Wealth starts with discipline. If you can't manage 50,000, you will mismanage 5 million. If you can't save from little, you won't be able to save when you have more. If you can't invest small, you won't have the courage to invest big. Start small, save something, invest something. Build wealth habits in scarcity because discipline creates wealth. Money is not your enemy, but if you keep ignoring financial principles, money will keep running away from you. Today, you must decide, will you keep living from paycheck to paycheck, watching money disappear like water in a leaking bucket, or will you rise, take control, patch your leaks, and start building your future where money works for you? Hear me. If you don't master money, money will master you. The cycle of lack is broken not by chance, but by choice. This is your moment. Decide today because your future self is waiting to thank you for the discipline you start right now.